Welcome back, everybody, to the Ringed City DLC for Dark Souls 3. This is the final boss video that I'm going to be putting out for the DLC, as there are no more bosses. But this is a post-commentary video for Darkeater Midir. This guy is a piece of shit. But this is post-commentary because I just couldn't find him on live stream after about a half hour, so I just gave up and found it by myself. For anybody that wants to know where he is before the Spear of the Church boss fight. There's a room there with a statue with an item that you can't get. There's just an alternate path that I missed, and you just go down there and you can explore and find it. But, yeah, you can go ahead and watch the stuff from this first attempt. This is probably about attempt number 15. The first time I see the second phase. But, go ahead and watch this first little bit. I edited it, whatever, and, I'll talk about the boss while watching my final attempt.
Darkness, my old friend.
So, yeah. That was probably the most defeated I've ever felt in this game. That was after about 15 attempts, and those attempts take a long time if you, like, end up making it even just halfway through. But, yeah, this attempt, my final attempt where I finally beat him, was probably, honestly, around 25 attempts. I was maybe even 30. I was fighting him for about an hour and a half. But, yeah, I want to talk about a few of the problems I have with this boss, because it seems like it's a kind of a common thing. It's a little bit more than just get good. Or get good, but I have a few problems with this boss, but they stem from one sort of major issue that kind of amplifies the other ones. So he doesn't have enough openings, which makes the fight feel drawn out and tedious, because you're just sitting there waiting and waiting for the moment to attack. Because there are some other attacks that have, there's two attacks specifically that have openings that I always wait for. This one, however, you have to be far enough away for it. And another one where he just brings up his right claw and, like, goes up and only strikes with the right claw and just hits once. That's easy to dodge. You just roll to your right and hit him once or twice and then get out. However, all of his other attacks are kind of hard to dodge. Like this one, he's just so massive. So most of the attacks for just the average player are just, it's impossible to tell what he's gonna do. So I just waited for those two specific attacks. This one could be one too, but it's kind of hard. I picked the ones that were the most guaranteed for the reason, like the most guaranteed that I would get damage in. For the other problem that he has, he is just seriously punishing. Probably one of the most punishing bosses in all of Souls. Because I have, as you could tell, a lot of health. I have 40 in, not Vigor. I don't remember what the stat's called. I've been playing Neo recently. The stats are weird. But And I also, well, I had the Ring of Favor, but with 40 of Vigor, Vit, whatever, on top of the Ember, I have almost 1,700 health. Yet, most of his attacks still do almost half or 80% of my health. So, part of the thing I did to minimize that is I put on Ring of Steel Protection +3 because just to minimize the physical damage as much as possible. And I put on the Estus Ring so that I would use Estus less often, because in this fight, like I said before, it is a long and tedious fight, and it is a fucking battle of attrition, because you gotta keep those Estus flasks to a maximum and drink them as little as possible. So those are two issues. The one with him being punishing is probably the main one. The other one that kind of branches off of that a little bit is he has an insane amount of health, and not also an insane amount of health, and also an insane amount of like resistances, because my weapon deals a shit ton of damage for just pretty standard, like just strength, faith, couple buffs build. My weapon hits for like 800 damage almost. Yet on this guy, it only hits for about 400 or 500, and you have to hit him in the face, because anywhere else you hit him, you deal 50% damage or something. It seems like that. I'm pretty sure I was hitting exactly half. So I ended up just trying to figure out a strategy after about an hour and a half. That attack right there, I just go to my right, because it's pretty much guaranteed that you won't get hit from that. And eventually, in the second phase, this attack, you just run to your left, and I dodged that, I think, every single time. I don't think I got hit. I got hit by that once, I think, and then I noticed, oh, the flames don't go to the left at all. Here's the attack that is pretty much guaranteed to do damage. See, and then these attacks, it's like he's too slow and like big sometimes, and sometimes he's too big and fast. So it's really hard to gauge what his attacks are. So I just try to keep my distance and wait for this attack, and then the other one where he just comes down with his claw. But overall, it is a fantastic fight. I saw someone say that they were like extremely frustrated by it and just insanely annoyed, and just like they didn't feel satisfied when they beat it. They just felt relieved that it was fucking over, which I get that. I've gotten that from a couple of Souls bosses. I can't remember exactly which ones. But this was where I tested. I was like, wait a minute. The way he angles that, I can probably actually get in and get some hits after that. So, yeah, if you're close enough, whenever he does the laser blast, you can kind of hang to his left and stay a little bit far away, so that by the time he finishes, you can get a hit or two in after the laser beam. But yeah, this boss is fucking incredible, but it would probably be one of the best in the series if it was just a little bit less punishing, I think. Because this is basically the same thing as the Ancient Dragon from Dark Souls 2, except hard. But I don't know why I tried buffing there. That was really fucking stupid. But because fighting this guy wasn't the same feeling as, say, when I fought the final boss of the DLC in Bloodborne, the Orphan of Kos. The entire time I was fighting that, I was genuinely having fun. Like, I don't think when I was fighting that I ever got like mad or anything. It was just genuinely fun, and that was because every time I died, I felt, oh, I could have dodged those attacks. I could have done something better. But for this fight, sometimes it's bullshit. Sometimes his AI is wonky. Sometimes the attacks are too erratic to dodge, and you just panic roll basically through his attacks, which is not really fun at all. But I loved the fight. I ended up when I beat it, I was like, you know what? That was a really good fight. If things were just maybe slightly, ever so slightly tuned down, it's like, this might be one of my favorite bosses in the series. But sadly, it was just a little too frustrating to be one of my favorite bosses. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I'm looking at the timeline here. The video's basically done. I guess I'll talk about the DLC a little bit. Honestly, I think I like this about as much as the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. They kind of balance each other out for how much I like them, because Ashes of Ariandel, I think, had better level design. However, this one, the Ringed City, still looked fucking beautiful, even though the level design was a lot more straightforward. And then this attack, I finally realized, just get close to him and stay underneath him, because he swings that fucking laser beam around about 7 or 8 times. And you just wait for him to come down. And then he's down. And then you just blast him. But, yeah, the level design isn't as good. But the fact that there's 4 bosses, and this one, honestly, the 3 bosses, the other 2 bosses, the Demon Prince and Gale, are just both phenomenal bosses. So it ends up evening out for me. But yeah, that's it. That's the final boss video for Dark Souls 3. When I beat him, oh my god, I was so... Because like I said, someone said that they weren't satisfied. I was fucking satisfied. I stretched out. I put down that emote and pointed the camera down. I got up. I was like... I was screaming. It was a good feeling. And I am glad that I went on this ride of Dark Souls all the way to the end. And it has been a fucking blast. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching the Dark Souls stuff. I'm sure I'll still live stream magic character. I want to make a pyromancy character. There's good magic and pyromancy stuff in this DLC. But, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.